Good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday, and you are on Picks and Parlays. I am your host, Scott Steen. I am the lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com.
Congratulations. You just messed up the title of the show.
What did I say, Picks and Parlays?
Yeah.
Good God, dude. All right, we're going to start again. No, I'm kidding.
We'll fix it in post.
I was half right. It's just Parlays. It's not Picks and Parlays. It's just Parlays. Sorry, I've been working on some ad copy for Picks and Parlays, and I had it in my brain. All the rest of it is true. I'm Scott Steen. That part's true.
Allegedly.
And this guy with the hat about 3 sizes too small is the one and only Chris King of all
JoJo Dillon.
What's up, buddy?
How's it going, Scott?
It's going well.
I mean, I can't even call you by a different name because your other co-host is Scott. So, I mean, I have to come up with a different name.
A lot of Scotts around here. I'll
be like Chris Jericho and just start butchering names on purpose.
Did you get all of your NFL draft picks in? Did you get all your bets in?
Yeah. What about you? Did you put anything new in?
Nope. Everything is kind of settled down. Of course, Vegas, they don't take bets the day of the draft, which is
right. 24 hours before the first pick, they shut it off.
What a weird rule. It's Vegas. It's wide open. It's weed. It's hookers. It's whatever. The bars are open 24 hours. Can I make a bet on the draft the day of? Oh my God! Fuck no. We've got standards around here, people. So good to be here, guys. Welcome aboard. If you're watching us live, Les Steele is in the house. Lex Steele. What's up, Lexi? Supness. I know Lex is a regular there in the comment section, so good to have him aboard. Chris,
Lex is always here.
We had a 4-teamer yesterday, and when I say we, I say it in the collective royal because these are your picks. You're the parlay master. I'm just kind of here to guide the herd as it is. I'm here to go. Chris, we got 5 minutes. Chris, we got 5 minutes. Hey, Chris, I want to wrap it up. So that's pretty much my whole job. So it's nice to be here. Michael Dost in the house. Hello, gentlemen. My team doesn't have a first rounder. So I'm going to be watching just to see who drafts Karlaftis. I like
Karlaftis. I think he's a good player.
Hope it's the Chiefs, buddy. If the Chiefs don't trade up, I would take Karlaftis as one of those picks. If we could add another wide receiver, maybe Sky Moore of the Western Michigan Broncos.
Sky Moore, the only guy who spells his name with 2 Y's.
Like the vodka. My daughter, when she played softball, I got to think it was maybe her 13 and under team. They all had their nicknames on the back of their jerseys. Her name is Skylar, and her nickname was Sky with 2 Y's, just like the vodka. What a proud moment for a father as your 13-year-old has a nickname named after a vodka. So that's fantastic news.
At least it wasn't named. The nickname wasn't Schlitz.
No Schlitz. That would have been a bad thing. Schlitz, the beer that what, Chris?
Gives you the shits.
Are you old enough to remember? No, it's the beer that made Milwaukee famous, buddy.
It was? I thought that was Old Milwaukee.
No, this was long before Old Milwaukee. What made Milwaukee famous has made a loser out of me. Do you know that song?
I think I've heard it before.
Yep, absolutely true. So I know you, like I said, you hit a 4-teamer yesterday. That was a nice hit. Almost got there on the advanced. We missed only on the
Warriors.
Golden State kind of stepping on their dick there.
And that game was weird because, like I told you last night when we were talking back and forth, Jokic had no fouls in the first half, and then all of a sudden he had 4 in like 5 minutes. I looked and said, "What the hell? How did Jokic get 4 fouls?"
Boogie was very good last night, right? I mean,
he had some good performance, good play. Hit that 3 at the end of the third quarter that gave Denver that 8-point lead, and then they just went cold. I don't know what happened. They left Jokic on the bench until about 6 minutes were left because he had 5 fouls by then.
Yeah, he picked up that one early in the fourth quarter. They put him back in for the fourth quarter, and Curry drove. And what a terrible way to pick up your 5th foul. I'm not even sure that was legit.
No, there were some bad calls. I thought Scott Foster was reffing the game until I looked and saw that he wasn't there. He was actually in Milwaukee.
Bad, not bad, not good at all, my friend. Michael Doe said it could be worse. Cinnamon, she could be named for stripping. Keep them off the pole. That's your job when you raise daughters, Chris.
That's true.
Keep them from getting pregnant before they turn 18, and you keep them off the pole. After that, I'm out. I'm out.
Well, I'm sure you polished plenty of weapons on the front porch there. When
I did.
being to date your daughters.
Yeah, they. I'll tell you what. My daughters are very strong personalities, and it was one of those things where I really didn't have to worry much about things going sideways because I had full confidence in each and every one of them just to beat the shit out of the guy. So,
there's that.
So there's that, and that's I give my wife full credit for that because my wife is a tough lady as well. Takes no shit from anyone, as you might suspect. You might suspect, Scott or Chris, that I'm not going to be married to a wallflower that's just going to roll over and take a bunch of shit. So
that's true.
All right, my friend. Well, we've got the draft today. We do have other action as well. And
speaking of, did you get in on any of the early baseball games? Since there's already 8 of them or 7 of them that started, and 2 more that start in the course of this show.
No, I was gonna make a joke that I probably will when I do the show later with Scott. That we will spend the whole time with Scott going, that game's already started. I'll give way in with like an opinion, and Scott will be like, that's in the 5th inning. So
yeah, that's the problem I had with trying to put together baseball for the show, because there's only 4 games that start by the time or after I'm done. So
yeah, that's absolutely brutal. So before we go on to the part that everybody wants to see, we'll talk a little housekeeping here and make sure that everybody is getting subscribed to the YouTube channels, both the Winners and Whiners, but especially the Max Wagers Network. And of course, smash the like button, as the kids say. If you're watching, if you're watching the video, no matter if you're watching it live or if you're watching it here a little bit later, smash that like button. We appreciate it. That lets our bosses know that we're doing a good job, and we have what do they call it? Viewer engagement, Chris.
Yeah, and to quote Walt Kowalski, "Get off my lawn."
There you go. Very, very nice. And of course, we got some exciting things going on with some of our partners, and this is one that's coming down the home stretch. It expires May 1st. So if you haven't taken advantage of it, please do. It's the partnership we have with DraftKings. Make any $5 money line bet on any Major League Baseball game. If you win it, not only do you win your bet, but you also win $200 in free DraftKings bets. Of course, you must be physically located in, you know all of them, Chris?
Yeah, I know that there's a whole bunch of states.
Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Iowa, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, Wyoming, and West Virginia. Must be 21 years of age or older, except for New Hampshire and Wyoming. First-time DraftKings Sportsbook customers only. And you must register using the promo code. And the promo code is, of course, WAW Video, WAWVIDEO. And we do have the link available in the show description. So check that out. Get yourself registered. And Reichel, I believe, he tried this out, and he was able to do it in 2 different states. So if you have a DraftKings account in Illinois, if you have one in Indiana, if you have one in Iowa, make yourself a little road trip. And you can pick up, of course, those bets would only be available in those states, so you have to go back or stay there to bet them, whatever. But
only Reichel would try to find a way to game the system, kind of like he does on the NASCAR show.
I think we only say that because he's way ahead of us. If this was a NASCAR race, you and I would be 2 laps down. It's not over, so we're going to need some lucky dogs, and we're going to need some breaks to go our way.
Or we'll just run him into the wall.
Oh, we could just run him into Brad Kozlowski, this son of a bitch. Thanks,
now,
Jim.
Scott, how you don't plug your picks? Because Jim usually plugs mine on the show. Why don't you plug yours too? Because all that stuff's in the show box normally.
I do have premium plays available. If you like what you hear with me, make sure you check that out. You can get them through the winnersandwhiners.com website. Just go on to Expert Picks, click my link, and we got some cool deals going on over there. We've been pretty good lately. Been especially good on the NBA. I think we're about 18-5 our last 23 NBA picks. So yeah, jump on that, because there's plenty of NBA stuff left to go as far as the playoffs go.
And like Michael said, normally Reichel's napping.
I guarantee he's napping right now.
Yeah, so you'll see him come out with his bed head, at the top of the hour on Max Wagers Network, the Ocho.
If Max Wagers Network, the Ocho. If you want to have a laugh, just ask Scott if he heard me on your show.
I'm guessing he probably didn't.
He probably didn't. Good guess, my
friend. We could probably set a prop bet on that, but it would be prohibitive to the no.
Oh yeah, heavily juiced to the no. The other promotion I want to talk to you about, of course, is with Caesars. Pretty good deal there, up to $1,100 first bet insurance, and I like how they've done $1,100 because if you want to bet $1,000, you're paying normal odds, you're paying $1,100. So
it's true.
It gives you the ability to actually play your bet for $1,000. Of course, you don't have to bet $1,000 if you only want to bet 100 or 200, whatever it is. Whatever you put up for that first bet, it is absolutely guaranteed by Caesars. If you win it, of course, you win your bet. If you lose it, you'll be reimbursed completely by the good folks over there at Caesars. And of course, there is a code for that, and that is ATS wins CZR, ATSWINS and the link is in the show description as well. So, very good. Chris, let's do some business, man. We've plugged, we've welcomed, we've extolled, we've begged. I'm running out of verbs, so let's get to it, buddy. What do you got cooked up for today, my friend?
Well, I guess we'll start on the diamond with one of the games that starts right after we go off the air.
Right
when you come out with that other guy, Rip Van Winkle or whatever his name is. It's the Blue Jays and the Red Sox coming to you from the Rogers Center. Boston 7-11. They're 4-7 on the road. Toronto 12-6. They still lead the American League East even after losing yesterday, where Ross Stripling and the Blue Jays were hammered. Gonna be a good pitching matchup today. It's got Garrett Whitlock 1-0 with a save. Shows you how he's getting more innings now. A 1.66 ERA, a 0.512 WHIP, 2 walks and 18 strikeouts and 13 2/3 against Alek Manoah, who I watched him pitch for the Bisons in AAA. He's 3-0 with an ERA of 2, with a WHIP of 1, 6 walks and 18 strikeouts and 18 innings. So a good pitching matchup. Whitlock turned in a pretty solid start in his first start of the year, which came against the Rays on Sunday in that game where Boston got no hit for 9 innings and then lost on the walk-off homer in the bottom of the 10th. The Red Sox 18th in runs per game at 379. They're a little better on the road. The Blue Jays average 4.16 runs a game, but they average over 5 at home. They're 4-0 in their last 4 against the AL East. They're 12-2 in their last 14 as a favorite. 6-1 in their last 7 against a right-handed starter. Boston just 1-5 in their last 6 against teams with a winning record. 1-6 in their last 7 against a right-handed starter, and 1-7 in their last 8 on the road against a right-handed starter. Now, I know everybody likes Boston for reasons unbeknownst to me. I know they've got some good hitters in the lineup.
Is it the easy navigable streets and the grid system they have set up? Is that the reason?
Sure, why not?
Oh God, it's a horrible city to drive in. Awful.
I've only been up there, driven in there once, and I gave up after about 5 minutes. I figured it was easier to take mass transit to get anywhere.
Well, and the good folks there are so nice and helpful if you're lost and you're from out of town.
Unless you're the only place
you're some kind of retard.
Yeah, they want to point you to is Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, fucking moron. God damn it. You just go up by the Dunkin' there and you take a left. You can't miss it. Jesus. Get the fuck out of here. That's my boss. Thank you very much.
Oh, and Michael said it was probably the great tea parties they have there.
Nice.
Good historical reference.
Speaking of Throwback Thursday, good Lord. So
do you have any thoughts on this one, Scott?
I do. I'm always interested when a guy that is kind of a multi-tooled weapon. You use him as out of the bullpen. You use him as a starter. I'm kind of curious to see how he ends up doing. He has made 4 relief appearances and 1 start. He made his start last time against Tampa Bay, and especially when they have high strikeout numbers, because when you come in out of the pen, Chris, obviously you're a max effort. You can go in there and you throw a couple of innings. He's kind of a mid-long guy. So he's, going in there for a couple innings and you can just let it fly. So I'm always curious to see how those guys transition into making starts. And so far it's been really good for young Master Whitlock. He's gone, like I said, 4 innings, gave up just 1 hit, 7 Ks in that start. So I'm I don't know that I'm completely on board with your pick here, Mr. Parlay. I'm not sure that Mr. Whitlock can get it done. I would certainly think that if they are going to beat the Red Sox, they're going to do it late, based on what he's done so far this season.
But here's the thing, Scott. They're facing Whitlock. Manoah is the pitcher for Toronto.
And you're on Toronto, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But that's what I mean. Whitlock might only go 4.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to get the Red Sox, I think you're probably going to get them late. I would stay away from any kind of a
first 5 really.
Play. Right, exactly. Chris, real quick, how's that Boston bullpen been? Because I know there were some questions coming into the season. How have they been lately?
They didn't look very well or very good in this series. I mean, we saw them blow a lead the other night where they're up 5-2 in the 9th and ended up losing 6-5 and 10. Matt Barnes seems like he's lost something on his fastball, which is something we've talked about with a lot of pitchers in the early going. You look at the bullpen outside of Whitlock, who was the closer, and now he's not because they put him in the rotation right now. Right. You're looking at Austin Davis, Matt Stram, another guy you're familiar with.
I am indeed.
368 earned run average. He's 1-1. Dykman has an ERA of 6.
Another guy I'm familiar with.
Ryan Brazier, 3.6. Cutter Crawford.
I'll take cast-off left-handers from Kansas City for 500, Alex.
Yeah. Cutter Crawford, who is on the restricted list because he is not vaccinated, has an ERA of 9. Barnes' ERA is 6.35.
Right.
So it hasn't been what you would hope for. I mean, you look at the rotation, they've got some good guys there, but
the good news is, if you want to back Boston in this one, the Toronto pen has been awful at home. Just absolutely dreadful. 5.22 ERA, 1.26 whip. And they are not doing the job in the Rogers Center that they do in the lower 48, Chris. So,
yeah, unless it's Jordan Romano, he pitches pretty well.
Right. So what we're saying is, if you got the Red Sox here and it's early, and they're down 1-0, 2-0, don't panic. Don't panic. All could be revealed and be good with the world. So
yeah, and Michael said Toronto and Boston, no runs in the first could be something to look at. I would agree with that with the way Whitlock's pitching, and so is Manoah. You know, Manoah's only allowed 4 runs in 3 starts, and Whitlock has pretty much shut people down. He had a rough first outing of the year, but since then, you know, he's really clamped down on opposing hitters.
I was going to get the price on that to see if it was
prohibitively bad.
Yeah, I mean, my guess would be it's in the 150 range, 140 range, something like that. So
yeah, probably somewhere in that area.
Playing that nerfy. Under a half. Ooh, wow. Hang on with it. 120, buddy. 120.
Oh, so that's not bad at all.
Sign me up. In fact, I'm going to make that bet right now.
Yeah, Michael said 120 at Bovada, so.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm looking at here. That's the easiest, quickest one for me to get to as well. So I think there's great value there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you look in the series, you haven't seen a ton of early offense between these teams. So, and with two good arms on the mound, could be a struggle for runs early in this one again. I mean, let's look at the first 3 games of the series. You know, the first game you didn't have any runs until the 5th. In the second game, you didn't have a run until the 3rd, and yesterday was the aberration. Boston scored in the top of the first off Stripling, but it was Stripling, and he's only starting because Ryu's on the IL.
Man, is there a team that's any better than the Dodgers at knowing when to unload those pitchers? You look at Stripling, you look at Ryu. You know, they get max value out of those guys, and then they trade them, or they just let them go.
Well, I mean, and to a lesser extent, you know, they let Darvish go. You know.
Mm-hmm. And I would call Darvish a mixed bag in San Diego. Can we say that?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, he was good in the first half last year, then fell apart in the second half, but so did the entire Padres team.
Yeah.
And he's been up and down this year, too.
Yeah, that second half Padres record was one for the ages last year. They just absolutely went from locked into at least a wild card spot to really not even in the hunt. So, all right, very good, very good. I don't hate that one. It's I worry about them overcoming the Boston starter. But again, the good part about him coming out of the pen, he's not stretched out. If he goes 5, it would be a stunner. It would be his longest outing of the season. He has not completed 5 innings yet this year. So,
and that takes us to the other one of the other late games, Scott. You got the Cardinals favored over the Diamondbacks. That coming to you from Busch Stadium. There in the Gateway City. It's going to be Humberto Castellanos, who last I checked isn't related to Nick Castellanos, but we'll get back to you on that. He's 1-0 with a 3 ERA and a 1.25 WHIP, 5 walks and 8 strikeouts in 12 innings. He's going to face Dakota Hudson, who's 1-1 with a 3.95 earned run average, a 1.171 WHIP, 6 walks and 10 Ks over 13 2/3. And I guess the big thing here is Arizona. Sure, they took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, but they haven't really scored any runs. They're tied for 28th, which, in case you're scoring at home, in this case is tied for last because there's 2 other teams tied with them with 3 runs per game going into today. They are slightly better on the road at 3.14, but that's not really saying a whole lot.
No,
now, the Cardinals, did you see the fisticuffs yesterday?
I did. Nolan Arenado took offense of a pitch that was up and in. I wouldn't say it was a headhunter type of pitch, but it was tight. It was tight, and Arenado kind of chirped a little bit, got a little chirping back, and here come the bullpens. We call it we don't call it a brawl, right? A little
a Donnybrook,
a little Donnybrook, sure, whatever. Rebecca of Donnybrook Farm for the Beverly Hillbillies and wrestling fans. So I'd be anxious to see when the Cardinals and Mets get together later this season. And see.
I thought it was funny that he flipped out, but Pete Alonso got plugged in the helmet the other night. The Mets got hit 3 times in Tuesday's game, or Wednesday's game. There wasn't any fisticuffs, but one guy gets hit for the Cardinals and they go batshit.
Yep. That sounds very Cardinal-like.
Yeah, I mean Oliver Marmol has got to get some control of that team. Otherwise, you got the inmates running the asylum.
Yeah, not good at all there with that situation. So, are the Cardinals going to be focused here for this one as they have Arizona coming in?
I'd like to think so. I mean, Arizona's not going to impress anybody offensively. If the Cardinals can get a few runs on the board, you have to think they can put this one away. They're 5-1 in their last 6 against the NL West. They're 18-5 after scoring at least 5 runs, and hey, they did that yesterday. Arizona, let's just put it nicely and say they're bad on the road, 14-57 in their last 71. It's about Reichel's dating percentage. 13-55 in their last 68 as a road underdog. From what we understand, and I'm sure you can confirm this, Scott, Reichel is usually an underdog when it comes to that.
He's always getting plus money. No question about it. He's not very chalky when it comes to fair sex. But
the one thing is surprising about Arizona so far is their team ERA, their rotation has an ERA of, I think it's a 2.55.
Yeah, it's outstanding. They've been an under machine because obviously they can't score. So
right.
if you get decent pitching out of this squad, they have been an under machine so far. And I know I saw these the numbers earlier. Yeah, they're 4-14-1 to the overs, Scott, Chris. So yeah, very
so that's and even the Cardinals are they're 6-9-1 to the under on the year too. Where do you? Or is it 7-9-1?
I've got 8-9.
See, Covers has it at 6-9-1 or 7-9-1, I should say. So
okay, well that you can find a different closing number there. So that's not surprising.
That's true.
So
they got the number set at 7.5 here.
Okay,
I don't know. Do you think that might be a little low?
I do. I mean, a little low. No.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think the Cardinals could put up 5 and win 5-3 or something like that?
Could they? Sure. The problem is they've only scored 5 runs, twice in their last 8 games?
True. I mean, they struggled against Miami and they struggled against Cincinnati, which was weird because everybody seems to be teeing off on Cincinnati pitching.
Yeah. Absolutely true. They put up just 10 runs in 3 games against the Reds.
And the weird one was Wainwright was the guy that got the loss.
Of course, that was we had him in that play. I had that play. So
did you?
I love
against Lodolo.
Yeah, I love Wainwright in that spot. Of course, Lodolo comes up and just handcuffs him while Wainwright gives up 3 runs in the first 2 innings. Perfect.
So you think it's gonna end up under the 7.5? Then you think it's gonna be like 4-2?
Yeah, I think 4-1-3 run is a very good possibility here for the Cardinals. But I do like your Cardinals side, just like as you touched on, because this Arizona team can't hit, man. They just can't put up any runs. I'm sure it's very frustrating for that very good pitching staff. And you touched on it briefly, the bullpen, they have not been fantastic. So the starters have been going a decent amount. The overall bullpen 4.13 with a 1.36 whip, being even worse on the road, 5.76 ERA and a 1.44 whip. So again, another game where if you're down 1-0, 2-0 early, don't sweat it, because once the pitcher gets out of there, the mice would play.
Sly said that we're mean to Reichel.
We are.
You know why? Because he deserves it.
He's, you know what? He's a good kid, and I know anybody that watches me and him regularly know that I praise him immensely. He's a talent. He is one of the best young handicappers I've run across in my life. His knowledge and his memory of events and players and situational stuff, I think it's second to none, and it would be
except it's second to me.
I was going to say, if there's anybody that gives him a run, it would be you. I would be interested to see you guys play some sort of trivia with stuff, because he even has a pretty good working knowledge of stuff from the 60s and 70s, things that he wasn't around for. So no, we kid because we love. I've had a lot of fun with Reichel, and I can tell you this: if he were here, I'd be roasting him just the same. So
exactly. And if you don't believe us, just watch the NASCAR show on Fridays.
Watch the NASCAR show, exactly. Which, by the way, we'll be doing our NASCAR show tomorrow, but we will not be doing it live because we have Sean Miller over there doing the soccer thing between us and Game Time Decision with Nick, Tim, and Lenny. So we'll be recording the NASCAR show and then putting it up early Saturday morning. So
it'll be live on tape.
It'll be live on tape before a studio audience. So tell me why you think the Cardinals can get it done here, bud.
Well, I mean, like we said, Arizona, they can't hit. Their pitching's going to have to hold them up. I see Michael said, Hudson's FIP ERA is over 5, while Humberto's is in the threes. But I mean, I don't have faith in Castellanos. I mean, he doesn't have a big track record to lean on. And I mean, Arizona's team batting average right now, do you know what it is, Scott?
I don't have it in front of me. I'm going to go with 209.
$178.
Woo! I was worried I might be low. Man, that is not ideal. And I will say, for Cardinals backers, if you want a little reason to hope, Dakota Hudson definitely struggled his first 2 appearances against Kansas City and Milwaukee, giving up 7 earned in 7 innings. However, he was outstanding his last outing, going 6 2/3, giving up just 2 hits, no earned, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. So the good news is that was a great performance. The bad news is it came against the Reds. So take it.
But are the Diamondbacks any better than the Reds at the plate?
That was the next question I was going to bring up. Is the Diamondbacks offense any better than the Reds? I would say maybe a little with this iteration of the Reds, the way they're banged up, but not a lot.
I mean, just look at some of these numbers. Carson Kelly is hitting 095. Christian Walker 152, Kettle Marte 143, Perdomo 189, Alcantara 114, Dalton Varsho 197. David Peralta is one of the hot hitters on the team. He's batting 237.
Oh God!
And of the guys with the most plate appearances, Pavin Smith is hitting the best. He's hitting 260.
Yeah, and a regular feature on our show is Old Man Yells at Clouds. And I would say for today's show, my Old Man Yells at Clouds moment is, what's up with everybody hitting under 200? What the hell are we doing?
You'd be like Andy Rooney on 60 Minutes.
You ever wonder why people don't even respect the Mendoza line anymore? Remember when the Mendoza line meant something?
Yeah, it doesn't now.
Now it's an achievement. It's not it's not the ceiling. I mean, it's not the floor. It's at least you're hitting above the Mendoza line, so you're fine. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, here you go. Here's a stat for you about that. The Diamondbacks have 17 guys that have had at least 5 plate appearances this year. 13 of them are hitting below 200.
Golly, that is phenomenal right there. That is
good stuff.
Okay, so I will double down on my under, and I will get behind you on the Cardinals. Give me the run line. I don't care if they're the home team. You're getting great value. What is it? Minus 175 and plus, what do you say? 125, 130?
Plus 120, 125, depending on where you go.
It's beautiful. You give me $1 worth of value. I think the Cardinals can get it done. At least
Michael said the hitting coach is telling the Diamondbacks players they're due. Who's their hitting coach? Chili Davis?
It's the Arizona fallacies. I think if Cardinals put up 4 runs, they can cover the run line.
So I would agree with that.
I think they can cover the run line, have it still go under. Everybody's happy. So very good.
Well, we can buzz through that. We can buzz through some hockey real quick and then get to the basketball because I know everybody's looking forward to the playoffs. On the ice tonight, Scott, we got a rematch of what we saw the other day where we told you to take Tampa Bay over Columbus. Well, guess what? Tampa Bay is playing Columbus. The good news is this game's in Columbus instead of Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Well, won't really help Columbus.
This hockey season, will it ever end?
The final full day of the regular season is tomorrow. Playoffs start next week.
Let it go. Let it go.
That depends if Gary Bettman wants the Kraken and the Jets to play on Sunday to make up for that game from the snowstorm up in Winnipeg a couple weeks ago.
Does anyone care? Does that matter to anyone?
Both teams are eliminated from playoff contention.
That's what I'm saying.
Here you got Elvis Merzlikins, who started the other night. He lost. Going against Brian Elliott, who's the backup for Tampa Bay. He's 11-3 with a 233 goals against, the 914 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Tampa Bay still 8th in the league in goals for, 6th in goals against. Columbus is an average team offensively, but they can't keep the puck out of their own net. Kind of reminds me, I don't know how familiar you are in hockey from the 90s, Scott, but there was a guy who was a backup goaltender for the Canadians, Andre Rasico. You know what his nickname was?
That guy? That fucker still owes me money.
You know what his name is? His nickname was Red Light.
Red Light. Nice.
That sums up Columbus pretty much.
I thought maybe his nickname was All Holes, not just the 5-hole, the 6-hole, all holes.
Yeah.
Even
Tampa Bay 6-1 in their last 7 overall, 58-17 in their last 75 against teams with a losing record. Columbus, they don't like home and home series. They're 3-13 in the second game of a home and home set in their last 16 such outings. They're 1-5 in their last 6 overall. They've lost the last 5 meetings to Tampa Bay. Let's just make it 6. Columbus is going nowhere but home. Tampa Bay trying to hold on to that 3rd seed in the Atlantic Division so they can play Toronto in the first round and avoid playing a wild card team. I know the money line is ugly. It was ugly the other day, which is why we told you to take the puck line, and Tampa Bay won. I think it was 4-1. I don't expect a whole lot different here. Columbus won't have Zach Werenski, one of their top defensemen, and they're not very good. I mean, if they were, then we wouldn't be talking about how, they're not making the playoffs.
No, they're not going to make the playoffs. Yeah, and what a nice bonus for them. After this game, they get to go back to Columbus. So, wow, it's just a party all the way around.
To quote Rob Schneider in Necessary Roughness, "Holy Columbus, Ohio!" Very
nice, very nice. Columbus, Ohio. It's like Indianapolis without all the excitement.
I spent a year in Columbus one weekend.
Thank you. Good night. I'll be here all week, everybody.
And then the other game on the ice tonight, we'll talk about Carolina, who's won the Metropolitan Division. They're going to take on New Jersey, who's won the right to get a whole bunch of ping pong balls in the draft next month.
Ooh.
New Jersey 27-44-9. They're 11-25-4 on the road. Carolina's won 53 games. I don't think we need to go a whole lot further than that. Andrew Hammond, who wasn't even in the league for the last 4 or 5 years, that shows you how bad New Jersey is. He's their starting goaltender tonight.
Outstanding.
Antti Ranta filling in for Frederick Anderson. He's going to start for the Hurricanes. He's 14-5-3 with a 243 goals against, 913 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. The Devils 19th in goals for. They're just as bad as Columbus when it comes to keeping the puck out of the net. 29th with 3.64. The Hurricanes 9th in goals for at 335. They're first in goals against at 243. And what's that? What they say about that, Scott? If you want to win, you should outscore your opponent.
Got it.
Normally, when you're first in goals against, you have a pretty good shot.
Yeah, that certainly gives you a leg up on most competition, I would think, right there. I also like the over in that game, by the way. I know it's 6.5, but You talked about this New Jersey team. They just bleed goals under the best of circumstances. Now, when they got, a Jimmy Zamboni driver in there going tonight, who hasn't been selling popcorn for the last 5 years, and now he's going to put on the pads. No, give me.
Yeah, that's why Sly said they should start the Zamboni driver.
No kidding. Maybe just park the Zamboni in front of the goal. I don't know what the. I'm assuming the team total over there. You're not going to get that at 3.5. Probably going to be 4.5, right?
Let's see.
You got that handy in front of you?
I can pull it up here in just a second. Let's see. Get this to pull up. Team total.
Is that the only kind of pull up you can do? Can you do an actual pull up?
Yeah, I used to have to do them all the time.
Over in the service, in the chair force?
Yeah, I mean, I still do it. Not the Air Force.
The
Air Force, the chair force? Are you insulting people now?
That you're in the chair force.
No.
Where were you in?
The Marine Corps.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so was my brother.
Where were you deployed?
Iraq and Afghanistan.
Oh man, there was some bad stuff going on. Hopefully you weren't there when the war was going on, because that was nasty.
Part of it.
Were you there like the first Gulf War, 91?
No. I was in it after 9/11.
Were you really?
I joined up in 97, so I was in from 97 to 05.
What are you, like 45? Jesus.
Yes, I am.
No, then.
Oh, no, that's what I am now.
Oh, really? Okay. All right, very good.
Let's see. I'm just trying to pull up the total here for team total for Carolina. It's got to be in here.
Michael said the Devils would be better with Dennis Lemieux in that.
The Devils will be better with.
I bet that's funny for a lot of people.
The ghost of Martin Brodeur. I'd rather have Kirk McLean. If you take the team total over 3.5, is at -155 for Carolina. At 4, it's +110.
Okay, give me 4. I'll take a I'll take the danger on the push for the plus money.
I don't blame you. At 4.5, it's +160.
Andrew says thank you for your service. Sure.
Sure. Lex said he almost enlisted for the Space Force.
I don't know if that's real or not. I don't know if he's telling the truth or not. Would you re-up and go to Space Force, Chris?
No, I think I've done enough damage to the world.
Probably a lot less ground, a lot less infantry in the Space Force, I would think. Where were you in?
I was actually did communications.
Oh, okay, all right, very good.
Signal corps and all that stuff. I left. You still walk around with weapons and stuff, but
sure. No, I'm kidding. Oh yeah, Lex, I thought you were talking about the actual Space Force. No, I've seen the show on Netflix with Steve Carell. Yes, it's actually pretty funny. Jim says, you want Chris on that wall. You need him on that wall. I want the truth, Chris. Can I handle the truth?
Probably not.
Yeah, fair enough. That sounds about right.
I mean, you can't handle the truth by that toupee on your head. So
shut the fuck up. This is the guy that wears the undersized bill cap. What do you just watch that every day? How do you?
No, it's because of the headset.
Oh, is that? Oh, you got your. You see, I struggled with that when I was putting the farm hat on the first couple of days, and I just threw the headset on, and I could barely hear it coming out of the headset. But but the hat looks terrific, so that's what counts. Lex couldn't unless with his cape on. Very nice. Yeah, I will. In all seriousness, I do thank you for your service, because I know the Marine Corps is about no bullshit. So congratulations on joining up there and
being nutty enough.
Were you? All right, and we'll go back and talk about the games. I want to ask you one question. At the end of the day, when it was all over, were you glad you did it? Would you do it again, or did you become disillusioned as you were over there?
No, I would do it again. I
okay.
mean, because the mentality is, if you don't do it, who else is going to?
Well, I guess the other question is, did we need to?
Well, I mean, that's as we like to say, that's above my pay grade.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Very good. Hey, got any NBA for us?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Now, we've talked about this series ad nauseum. We talked about it the other day with the 76ers and the Raptors. Of course, everybody was happy when Philadelphia was ahead 3-0. Now it's 3-2.
11-game series, isn't it?
It's the best of 17.
Right.
Doc Rivers, all of a sudden he's snapping at the media,
A little defensive about talking about Doc's record, huh?
Yeah, and they're coming. It seems they're coming unglued. They haven't been the same since Embiid injured his thumb. He's only averaging 20 points a game since. He's 0 for 5 from 3. James Harden looks confused.
He looks hurt. Let's be
yeah,
real.
he looked gassed for long stretches of that game the other day. And the common strategy is, you talk about how no team's ever come back from a 3-0 deficit, and basically Philadelphia right now is sitting there saying, "Hold my beer." You look here, Fred VanVleet's doubtful again. Thaddeus Young is available for the Raptors. They're not going to change their system. They're going to keep rolling out all 17 of those guys that are 6'7" to 6'9" and make life difficult for Harden and the shooters. They won't have Thibault. Philadelphia's offense has gone downhill, and Toronto plays pretty well at home. I mean, if you look there, 76ers have failed to cover in the last 4 meetings, period. They're 5-15 against the spread in the last 20 meetings in Toronto. They're 1-5 in their last 6 on 2 days of rest. They're 1-5 in their last 6 as a road favorite. As much as I thought that Toronto was dead in the water at 3-0, I think we're going to see Game 7 here.
Yeah, I agree, because this is a Philadelphia team that really needed to step up in their last game there at home, and they did not acquit themselves well, putting up just 88 points, losing by 15 to Toronto at home. I got to think things don't get any better in front of that fired up Toronto crowd, man.
They're going to have to do something. They're going to have to find a Willis Reed moment here if Philadelphia wants to get through this series.
Who's Willis Reed? You talking about Embiid?
He's going to have to do something along those lines. Yeah, they're going to have that kind of or the Jordan flu game or something all over again.
You think Embiid thinks he just can't catch a break because last year he had the torn meniscus that he had to deal with the entire postseason. This year, it was relatively healthy for Embiid entering the postseason, and now he's got torn ligaments in the thumb, right?
Yeah,
shooting thumb, right thumb.
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that can't help. That can't help. So it's weird. You think of Embiid as injury prone, unquote unquote. He came out of college after sitting out his entire last year with a back injury. And he's had a variety of injuries. He's fought some back problems, but he's had, like I said, he's had some leg problems, he had some shoulder problems. Now he's got the thumb problem. Some guys I think are just snake bit, man. I don't.
Yeah, ask Sam Bowie.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You want to make the case that Embiid isn't in shape? No, of course, that's bullshit. These guys are in tip-top physical condition. They're at a great age. They should be the healthiest they're ever going to be, and yet it just shows you how difficult it is to play any kind of a professional sport, but especially I would call the NBA basketball not quite a full contact sport, but I would call that a contact sport when they're playing at that level.
Yeah, and to your point, he's never played more than 68 games in a regular season in the NBA, and that was this year.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
You have to wonder, can he hold up?
Oh yeah, no, there's no question about it. No question about it. You got to, anytime you talk about signing him to a deal or bringing him on your team or re-signing, whatever, you have to factor that in there, that he's going to miss. Well, what'd you say? He played 64, so he's not even playing. That's 80%. He's missing 20% of the games.
Yeah. So, now, to that point, would you take Embiid or Anthony Davis? Because that's a similar boat.
I'd take Embiid. He's going to be younger, right?
Yeah, that's true. Because Embiid's 28, Davis is 29. So
Anthony Davis just dreams about playing 60 games some year. That's a pipe dream for AD. So
yeah, he's played in the last 4 years 56, 62, 36, and 40 in the case of Davis. Before that, he had back-to-back years of 75 games.
Yep.
That was an eternity ago.
Nathan Cerna said he should have been on the Orioles' first 2 runs and Twins' first 2 runs. They've already both hit. Damn it. Welcome to the Lamentations Hour.
San Diego's up 5-2, and I thought that Tyler Mahle would have pitched better. That's what you get for thinking that, hey, the Reds are throwing their best pitcher.
Just kind of shows you how low that bar is.
Yeah, well, he's facing Nick Martinez, and Nick Martinez, he came back from Japan after, being over there for like 3 or 4 years because he sucked in Texas, but he's got another job now. So,
and with an unhealthy attraction to anime, so that was weird too.
Now, speaking of ex-Royals pitchers, real quick before we move on, Scott, did you see Jacob Junis had a nice outing for the Giants last night?
Threw more sliders than any outing as a Royal. So they've already got him working on that slider. He's always had a wipeout slider, and he's been a little afraid to use it. So whoever they've got working with him over there has unlocked the secret of Jake Junis' slider. I wish him nothing but the best. He's a good kid. And he just
10 scoreless innings so far this year.
Never could quite put it all together with the Royals. You'd see flashes like we saw with Daniel Lynch the other night, a guy that I absolutely roasted on my show and thought he had no shot. Then he came out and gave up 2 hits in 6 innings, So you see flashes with these guys and you're like, oh, and then, they make one good start and then they make 3 shitty starts. So congratulations to Jake Junis. I wish him nothing but the best. I like that Giants team. We got him over for our win total. So yeah, I got nothing bad to say about the Giants. All right, buddy. Now comes the part of the show where I remind you that we have 10 minutes left to get through 17 parlays. So,
do you have anything to say about the Suns and the Pelicans tonight?
I want to. I took the Pels the other night. I've got to take them at home with the points again. I can't get away from it. I know they are talking about perhaps. I want to see an update here because
Booker's out.
Oh, he's still because they were making noise that he might be able to come back. So he's definitely not.
Yeah, they ruled him out this morning.
Definitely not back for this one. So that's what I wanted to check on. Yeah, I got to go with the Pelicans here, and I know Phoenix stretched it out last time and kind of put it on them there, but I like this New Orleans team, especially at home. They've been decent at home in this series. So yeah, give me the Pelicans.
All right, I can see that. I'm just leaning towards experience over all the rookies there.
I get that. We got Monte Williams on one side. He's been there, done that. So I get it. And 2.5 is not a lot. So I totally understand if you want to back the Suns there.
Okay, now we'll go to the parlays since we just covered that pretty quickly.
Over the money.
Yep, we talked about the Blue Jays. I'm going to go with them, and I'm taking the Raptors. So it's an all Toronto parlay. Everybody up in the 6 there can rejoice. I would have taken the Maple Leafs too, but they're not playing tonight. So there you go.
Good play there, Hoser. Take off, eh?
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
We talked about the Lightning over the Blue Jackets. I'm also going to take Colorado over Nashville. Nashville starting Dave Rittich, former Calgary backup, former Toronto backup, guy with one of the most ironic nicknames in the league. You know what it is, Scott?
Red Light?
Big Game Dave.
Oh, nice.
Funny thing is, he's never plays in any big games. He sits on the bench.
I think you owe James Shields $25 every time you say that, by the way. All right, cool. I like both of those. The Avalanche team, very good. As we found out last year, they're very good in the regular season. So
yeah,
see how it goes in the postseason. But anyway, yeah, I like them here to close out the year.
Yep, and we've got on the 14, we got the Cardinals over the Diamondbacks. We talked about that one.
Hurry, get down.
We talked about the Hurricanes over the Devils. I think Florida will beat Ottawa. The Panthers have the best record in the league. Ottawa going nowhere. And we didn't talk about the Utah-Dallas game because I try to stay away from games that involve teams that I like. But I've watched the Jazz in this series, and they don't score a ton of points. I think they're going to stay and end up under 104.5. Okay. Do you have any thoughts on that one, Scott? I don't know if you have any thoughts on Dallas, Utah or not.
Well, it is good to see that Donovan Mitchell is going to play. They have some questions there with his quad. Looks like he is going to go. But this Dallas team just gets healthier and healthier. Luka gets better each and every game. They ran Utah out of the building.
They did.
Time. And
they were helped by the fact that Utah shot 3 of 30 from 3-point range.
10%, buddy. Shot 10%. Shot 30.
That's Rachel's dating average.
Woo! Ooh, the roast is hot. Which is incredible because they still shot 37% from the field, which doesn't sound like much, but it means they went 26 of 47 from inside the arc. So it's definitely a good news and bad news. And if I'm Quinn Snyder, I'm going to go in the locker room and go, stop shooting fucking 3-pointers. Stop it. Even Donovan Mitchell, okay, you can shoot, but you got to make one.
Yeah, but I mean, he struggled in that game too. He was 4 of 15 from the floor, finished with 9 points. I just don't see them scoring a ton here.
Nope,
because nobody scored much in that series. Period.
I think they go over 77, but with the exception of game 2 when they broke out for 244, this has been pretty much a low-scoring series indeed. So
yeah,
as you expected with Dallas, because Dallas played good defense and they were an under team all season long. So
that's true.
Yep, absolutely. All right, I like it.
And now we'll do the shot in the dark, also known as Jim Williams would call you the Chinese menu.
Shot in the dark.
Jim would also tell you if you go to China, they don't call it Chinese food; they just call it food.
Call it food. That's right, buddy.
I'm looking for Jose Ramirez to go over 1.5 total bases tonight for the Guardians. Hey, he hit 2 homers yesterday. That puts you well over 1.5 last I checked. And he's facing Reed Detmers, who gives up a lot of, I think it's 1.91 homers per 9 innings.
That's not good.
No. By the same token, I like Manoah to go under 6.5 strikeouts. He's averaged 6 innings in his first 3 starts, and he's averaged 6 strikeouts. He's gone 7, 6, and 5.
By the way, real quick, I hope everybody was able to take advantage of the Zach Greinke under strikeouts total.
And, what? He had 4.
What's that?
He had 4 yesterday.
4.5, wasn't it? Wasn't the number 4.5?
Was it? I just know he had 4 strikeouts. I was surprised he had that many.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, buddy.
But yeah, I look for the Cardinals to be ahead after the first 5 innings against the Diamondbacks. Same thing. I like the Guardians in the first 5 over the Angels. Cal Quantrill going against like the aforementioned Reed Detmers. I don't know if you have anything to say about Reed Detmers or Cal Quantrill, Scott.
I was impressed with Cal Quantrill at the end of last season. I kind of expected him to take that next step, and he really hasn't performed as well as I thought. Is that putting it generously?
Well, some of that I think you have to blame on bad fielding, and and he's got to win. I mean, he's 1-0.
He does. He's and his whip is a 118, which is fine. That's a little.
He's walked a lot of guys though.
He has. He's not a guy that gives up hits, but he is a guy that gives up walks. So I liked him, but they've given up 9 runs in his last 2 appearances, and he hasn't helped that much at all. Giving up 5 runs in 11 innings his last 2 starts. So I'm not as high on Cal Quantrill as I once was. Consequently, I think that's a decent play there, buddy.
All right, and then we got I'm looking for the Suns and Pelicans to stay under 214. I don't think that this is going to be an offensive bonanza. We're not talking about Memphis and Minnesota here. Same token, we've seen 4 straight games between the Raptors and 76ers stay under the number. I think this is going to stay under 210.5. Same token, I think Utah and Dallas, like we said, they don't score a ton of points in this series. We saw it again the other night. I think this one's going to stay under 210.5. On the ice, Calgary, I'm going to take them over Minnesota. The Wild, they don't have anything to play for. They're ready for the playoffs. So is Calgary. I just think the Flames, Markstrom is better than Cam Talbot in net. I take the Kings, took them last night. They beat Seattle, a team that was going nowhere. Now they face Vancouver, another team going nowhere, and playing their backup goaltender, Spencer Martin, who's made all of 4 starts in the NHL this year. And I'm going to take Washington, who won't have Alex Ovechkin again. He did practice this morning, but he's been ruled out in the second half of their home-and-home set with the Islanders. That game coming to you at the UBS Arena. I think Washington gets a win here to try and give themselves a little bit of positive momentum heading into the playoffs after they tanked earlier this week.
There you go. That is 10 plays right there. Chris guarantees, 8 of them to hit?
Depends on the day. Some of these days, with all the ins and outs of hockey, you never know who's going to play and who's not. It's kind of like watching some of the games in the NBA towards the end of the season where nobody posted an injury report until 5 minutes before tip-off. Then they're like, what the hell? You said that Miami was going to beat Orlando by 50 and they lost by 6. And then you look and
Adebayo didn't play. Butler didn't play.
Their starting lineup was the Water Boy, the Towel Boy, Pat Riley, and 2 fans that won that from the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
And Bingo the Wonder Dog.
and Adam Sandler.
All right, there you go. So that's 10. Do with them what you will, and of course,
we always say you can mix and match. Pick 2, pick 4. Whatever works for you.
1 from column A, 2 from column B, whatever works.
And fried rice.
And some every dish comes with fried rice and your choice of crab rangoon or an egg roll. So enjoy. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the show. Any final thoughts, Chris?
No, I think we got everything pretty much covered. The weird part about today, like we said, was there were so many games that started early that took away options. Like I would have liked to have gone with Houston over Texas with Verlander pitching, or Milwaukee over Pittsburgh. That game's already in the 7th. But we had to work with what was there.
Right. Exactly right. Not like we're going to start the show earlier. So I kind of envy like Allie and Sean because they got to do the early game. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for the I'm complaining about the early starts hour. Thanks very much for stopping by. It's getaway day. Wednesday, Thursday, always going to be challenging as far as Major League Baseball with the new getaway day rules that were implemented last year, where everybody has to have a certain amount of time before the next start to fly and all that. So a lot of early starts. Take advantage of them. Do with them what you will. You guys, thanks for watching. As always, we appreciate it. This is Just Parlays with Chris King and the one and only Scott Steen. We thank you guys for stopping by. Good luck on all your plays. Hey, if you ain't got nothing going on, go make yourself a snack, go to the bathroom, come back here in about 5 minutes because I'll be with my partner, Scott Reichel, who has been seriously roasted in this show. And we'll be doing our thing, a little show we call Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. So stay tuned for that. And come back and see us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 2 p.m. Eastern time, as Chris and I will talk about what? Just parlays. You guys take care. We'll see you tomorrow.